Ciao Juventini from all over the world. We are live immediately without any waiting. I'm sorry that we are a bit late. I am a bit late. Guys, I know you were waiting and you said, Beppe, start the live. Where are you, Beppe? Guys, you have to know I am on the Juventus Twitch channel. I'm doing the watch alongs. If there are some injury time, sometimes it take a bit longer. So it is my fault. Thank you for waiting. Guys, we won. We won 3-2. Another 3-2, but I'm not alone today to speak about Juventus because I have a great friend, a talented person that is there. Ciao Dan, how are you doing?
Ciao, Beppe. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing super well. I'm super and honored to have you on the channel, Dan. We'll speak about that win 3-2. Then we'll speak also about you a bit. I have some internet connection problems today, so hopefully it will not lag too much. But
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for being here with me today. If you don't know, guys, Dan is the one known as Colo99, who's doing amazing edits about Juventus, but also about all the teams. I will start immediately with the comment of Softic. Grande for the donation. Softic was saying, it's getting better. We are punished every mistake, but I finally see a team fighting. Thanks Allegri for coming back and Ronaldo for leaving. I believe it's a hard and bold statement. Dan, what are your opinion about that comment?
He's definitely right. We can see the team improving over the past few weeks. Still, mistakes here and there, but I think compared to the first few games, you can see what Allegri is trying to do and trying to build. But I mean, it's going to take time. So mistakes are still going to come in the next few weeks, but I think we're on the right track.
Are you how can I say, more satisfied with the win or still a bit angry about Juventus suffering 3-2? Because I know it's super early there, where you are living in Canada. Uh,
Yeah.
you woke up especially for that game, and then you see a Juventus suffering but winning.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I woke up a bit late, so as soon as I turned it on, I saw Dybala crying when he got injured. So that was a good start. But yeah, it was a bit shaky at the end. I think the defense is still up for grabs and still needs to be a little bit better. But I mean, Juve never makes it easy, right? It's always complicated with Juve, so it's normal.
A lot of people are saying update on Dybala.
Mm.
I'm not a doctor, of course. I jumped from one life to another, so I couldn't see the reports. He will for sure being tested by the medical staff. Now, of course, it was not the contrast, and when you have a contrast, you check. It was really he wanted to go on De Pauli on the number 12 of Sampdoria. He put actually his leg a bit too far, and you saw immediately that he stopped and he cried. They know their body. They know they are professionals. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And not only Dybala suffered for him, but also the team. But for me, I believe that Paulo Dybala will be absent a few weeks. First feeling, I can't confirm. Hopefully, I'm wrong, because after he went on the bench and he watched the rest of the game with his teammates, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for me.
And I mean, well, this has happened to Dybala the past few seasons. No, I don't really know when the last time he had a full healthy season, maybe 2016, 2017. So unfortunately it's becoming a habit now where Dybala has these long injuries. So hopefully it's not too long, but it didn't look good. So
I agree with you. It's not the first time that Dybala has these injuries. It was
mhm.
a disaster season last year for Paulo Dybala. This season we were all thinking, okay, Paulo Dybala will be at the center of the project. We're talking about the extension of his contract. He is the man to build on, to build the team around. And the thing is, probably you woke up a bit late, but the first 15 minutes we probably saw the most beautiful Juventus of the
Yeah,
season. But really, it was an amazing first 15 minutes with Dybala on fire. For the first time, he found his position on the field because non-possession 4-4-2. When we had the possession and we had it a lot in the first 15 minutes, we were playing a 4-2-3-1 with Dybala between the line, but really
yeah.
more offensive than the other games. And then this happens. Uh, Robert is saying, Ciao Giuseppe and your guest. My guest is Dan, and I see a lot of comments for Dan, supporting the work of Dan, where I'm amazed about, really. I'm happy with the win, but still conceding many goals. Happy for Loca today, Forza Juve. Continue on Dybala, because then the game changed. Is Juventus able to play without Dybala a few games, according to you, Dan?
I mean, there's a big game coming up on Wednesday, which I was hoping it was going to be sort of Dybala's breakout game this season. So, I mean, Wednesday is going to be tough, but I think the only way for it to work now is if Allegri changes the formation a bit, because I don't know if this 4-4-2 works without Dybala, you know? Might have to move into a 4-3-3 or something like that. I think Allegri's going to have to make some changes now. I don't think this formation, you know, works especially with Kulusevski up top. I think the formation only caters to Dybala, so Allegri's going to have to work some magic.
You saw the game. We saw that Kulusevski entered to replace Dybala. Yesterday in press conference, we had Massimiliano Allegri who said Kulusevski, his right position, he can play on the wing, but probably play more and better centrally. And he said clearly, like, you know, maybe he had a feeling, he said, it looks like Kulusevski, he has the same role as Dybala. Are you agreeing with that? What are your thoughts about the game of Kulusevski and the potential of Kulusevski? That are actually two different stories.
Yeah, his potential is higher, but I feel like last year he played his best on the wing, because I think he is decent at beating his man, but I don't know if he has that sort of skill and the eye that Dybala has to sort of be the central focus, right?
Can be. It's they are two total different players. But on the other hand, you see a beautiful pressing from Kulusevski for that goal of Locatelli. He goes, he press, he has he's smart enough to see Locatelli behind him, he scores. If you have to speak about today's game, because now we spoke immediately about some individuals, because also the chat is asking it. Before going that, can you answer the question of Thomas, who's saying, I've been watching Dan's edit for maybe 10 years. Please confirm when you started.
Yeah, I would say 10 years ago. I think the first videos I made were for the Conte's first Scudetto, 2011, 2012. I was doing them for school, just playing around. So those were the first, so I would say about 9-10 years ago.
Wow.
Long time.
That's really long. And then we see that Thomas was totally correct saying it. If we speak about the game is its entirety, because people, they love to see what went well, what went wrong. I will ask you the question to you. What went well and what went wrong in the game? Can we see the game in a whole, or do we have to divide certain moments of the game? What was your man of the match? Was it Bentancur? Was it Locatelli? Give me a general idea of how you lived the game.
Yeah, I would definitely say Locatelli, man of the match. He's growing more and more into his position, and you know the pressure isn't phasing him at all. So he's been playing really well the first few games so far. And I think it's good because maybe now Locatelli and Bentancur are developing like a nice partnership that we can sort of, you know, have as a good base for the rest of the season. So I think Bentancur did well with Locatelli as well. But I think I'm worried about on the wings, you know, Bernardeschi wasn't too good. I know you like Berna. He's one of your favorites, but
it's not true. It's not true.
I don't know about him on the wing. On the wing, I have questions about him, so I don't know.
This is a myth. This is a myth that people are saying that he's one of my favorites. No, I defended Bernardeschi when he had a difficult time because I think that sometimes we are exaggerating. But Bernardeschi has been really bad with Juventus since a few years. We have to be honest with that. I don't like bullying players. I don't like when we go and focus on every single thing that he was not doing well.
Right.
It's not my favorite player. You know, if you support Juve, you have the chance to have a lot of players to pick. Bernardeschi would not be my number one pick. Let's be clear about that. today, for me, he started well and then he disappeared. And that's a
Yeah.
problem I have with Bernardeschi. Today, even without Dybala, and when you see his start of the season, preseason, when you see how he entered last game and so on, then you think, okay, let's count on him. And no, he didn't do something bad today, to be honest.
No.
But it's like a six, a rating 6. He's there.
Yeah.
He's there, not giving something to the team. So I agree with you. We had Lucas from Brazil saying against Chelsea, that's a total different game. But I will not say Chelsea, but maybe in the future games. What do you think about that 3-5-2? Do you think it's a good idea to insist with that three-man defense?
I mean, I think when you have three great defenders like we do, it's not a bad idea. The only worry I have is, I guess, if one of them goes out injured, Cancelo. if one of them goes out injured, I guess you're forced to play either Rugani or maybe even Danilo there, right? So I mean, if you stick with a two defense, you can always bring Chiellini off the bench like he did today. But I know maybe against Chelsea it would work, yeah.
For me, three-man defense, you know what's my fear? Huh? Three-man defense is a clear signal from Allegri, we defend. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is, okay, you play with De Ligt, Bonucci, and Chiellini, probably three of the best defenders, center backs in the world.
Yeah.
And if one is tired, and if one is injured, you play with Rugani. So that's why I'm not 100% a big fan of playing with three men, except of some parts of the games. Cuadrado today a bit less precise, and the third goal is on him, huh? Or the second goal of I don't understand, because I love Cuadrado. That's one of my favorites, not Bernardeschi, but the Cuadrado. I don't understand. He's 33. He has the experience. Today he played his 150 goal game with Juventus, even more in Serie A. I don't understand. Why taking that risk. That's typical Cuadrado, doing something crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's done that for years now, right? So I mean, we're kind of used to it, but that doesn't excuse it. But that's why I think he does better higher up the pitch, maybe with Danilo as the right back, so that way Cuadrado doesn't really have to worry about tracking back as much. He has more freedom. Whereas when you have him as right back, if he makes a mistake right away, it can result in the goal, which is what happened.
We have Julian Dos Santos and Forza Juve. They are confirming, so this is the real word, because I checked meanwhile that you were explaining. They are confirming Morata and Dybala out versus Chelsea and Torino. So at least 1 week. I tell you, for me, Dybala will be even longer. Morata, I think he stopped on time. Should we?
Oh boy!
So we start gaining some positivity with two wins in a row, 3 goals. Is that positivity already taken away now with that news?
I mean, it's a big blow. Yeah. At least I guess you could say Allegri has a few days to think about it. I mean, I know it's Wednesday, but it's better than these injuries happening the day before the game. I think he's going to have to rethink that formation, though, because Keane and Kulusevski up top, it won't work, especially against the champions of Europe. So
you made an amazing edit about Moise Kean. I loved it. And then I want to ask you about the Locatelli edit that you kept, like 3 months prepared and ready to put on.
Yeah.
Also the Donnarumma edit I want to talk about. But so Kean, you made an edit and pumped up with a great video, great music, What about Keane? His first 5-6 games with Juve, and you said that it's a big blow, Morata and Dybala. He's not ready to replace Morata?
I mean, if you look at Keane last year at PSG, he had amazing stats, especially playing with Neymar and Mbappe. He had goals coming off the bench, assists coming off the bench. So I think he can replace Morata, but the first few games he just hasn't really looked up to it. I think he still has to adjust to the team. It's a big move. So if there's a game for him to sort of announce himself again, I mean, it would be against Chelsea, right?
Mm. Johan is saying, yes, we are dead without Morata and Dybala. I like Dybala. I really like Dybala, but according to me, except of today, Dybala, it's really difficult to play with him because he has some difficulty to keep a spot, to have a clear spot. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in some game it's easier to play some games without Dybala. I speak tactically, because then you can really switch. Today, for the first time, I saw what I was asking and what a lot of fans were asking: play that 4-2-3-1
Yeah.
with Dybala as a number 10. That is for me the position for Dybala to really really play well. Without Dybala, I don't know if it makes sense to go again for a 4-2-3-1 because we saw that today Kulu he had some inventions. On the other hand, Kulu is not at the level of Dybala. You can't compare it. So I have a lot of question marks for
Yeah.
Torino and for Chelsea. Big question marks. What did you love the most today?
I would say seeing Locatelli celebrate. That was it was a big moment for him. He just seemed so happy. Yeah, I think Marco mentioned it on Twitter, Marco Messina, how he just loves when he's seeing players celebrate. Like you can thoroughly see on their face that they're so excited. Sometimes you see players, they score and they don't do anything, but to see Locatelli, with that emotion was amazing.
Well, Locatelli, you know it. He's a real Juve fan.
Yeah.
He spoke about it in press conference. I believe that his grandmother is really proud today because the
Mm.
grandmother of Locatelli or the family of Locatelli's are Juve fans. And when he scored against Juve with Milan, the grandmother said, okay, congratulations, but I'm not that happy because you scored
Yeah.
versus Juve. So now he scored a winning goal for Juve. I agree with you that that's a beautiful moment. People are requesting you to do a video about Mad Max Massimiliano Allegri being really angry. I hope we will not have that video because I hope that Massimiliano Allegri will not be mad again because he was
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, you saw him yelling today, in Italian at Lunga because I guess they were trying to close out the game when there were still half an hour, 25 minutes. So I mean, if Allegri is yelling, I don't think it's good news. So hopefully, I can make an edit of that.
Did you ever do an edit for a coach?
I think when Conte left and everybody was sad, I did one for him. Yeah, I remember.
Speak me about you can about the Locatelli edit because we had a crazy summer and finally he
Yeah,
scored today,
crazy.
so it's a perfect time to speak about it. You make a beautiful one, a beautiful edit, and it was already uploaded in private mode,
Mm.
and you had to wait. How do you react about that? And are you scared at a certain moment that we will not sign him?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was there was a point towards the end where I thought it wasn't going to happen. Um, because to be honest, I think I made that video. I made the first video before the Euros, and it was finished. And then he scored against Switzerland, so I had to fix it. Add his goals in. And then there was that whole issue with UEFA and my Instagram and stuff like that. So then I had to take the goals out.
It's true.
And then so it was. I think I must have done the video 3 or 4 times. And then it was just sitting on my channel for maybe 3 4 weeks until it finally happened. I showed you a few days
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it happens. Sometimes I jinx it. Years ago with Witzel, Draxler, I put it out early and then it never happened. So that's why I said from now on and until it's official, I'm not gonna upload anymore.
Thank you to Softic from Sweden. Grande bro. Softic is one of the most critical person on my channel.
Mm.
He's there since the beginning. Today he seems a bit more happy. He's saying big thanks to Colo99. His skills are out of this world. Keane is
Thank
not,
you.
and then he goes again in negativity because it would have been too easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Keane is not worth the money we are paying. Allegri screaming was great to see today. So Softic is how can I say, a hater is exaggerated, but it is really not loving Rabiot, Bentancur,
Mm.
basically our midfield.
Right.
You agree with Softage that, pay attention, is negative, but because he expect a lot. He's a real Juve fan. He's a
Yeah, of course.
big Juve lover. Uh, I see that Softage is saying that we are progressing, but is still not confident about our midfield and about Keane. We spoke a bit about Keane. Do you want to touch on his words?
Well, I think for the midfield issue, I think it's a common thing between a lot of Juventini. I mean, if we're happy when we win, but we're still critical because we've seen a midfield of such higher quality in the past. So to compare it to now, I mean, it's normal that we would have the criticisms. But I think with the addition of Locatelli, sometimes you see one addition sort of boost up the rest of the players. So that might happen here. You might see, like we said today, Locatelli and Bentancur had a pretty good partnership. So this could perhaps elevate Bentancur and Rabiot to become better players. And Keane, yeah, like we said, I don't know about you, Beppe, but I'm worried because this summer and next summer we have the Keane, the Locatelli, and the Chiesa money that all is going to have to be paid, correct? So
No,
we're
Locatelli it's even for one season after.
the summer after, yeah.
Chiesa
Okay.
will be now. Keane is also from next year, I believe.
Okay.
So we have some time, but it's true that already Chiesa will be, and then you will have to take a decision on Morata because Morata
Yeah.
now it's over. And so on this summer we will have to pay for sure Chiesa, and then you take a decision with Morata, or you pay after 10 million, and 10 million loan is already 20 million that we already paid, or you go and you give 35 and you keep the player, or you say no.
Yeah.
But it's true
So
that the expenses of next year are already there.
and that's just to have the same team that we have now. That's not even including new signings, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be tough, I feel.
yeah, of course. We come from a difficult mercato. We had a pandemic for all the teams. If you look at Barcelona, at Real Madrid, a lot of big clubs are suffering, except of some individual clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, City, and then the English clubs. But we had an injection of 400 million, 300 million, 20 million already for the pandemic loss. So we will not have that much of money. People and the papers are starting to speak about Donnarumma is not happy at PSG, will come to Juve. Pogba will come maybe even in January. I don't believe this news because
Yeah.
we already have too much expenses. On the other hand, next year, and that maybe it's an idea for you for a video, it will be 100 years that Agnelli property, the family Agnelli, has the property of Juve. You never know. A bit of injection somewhere to do a Vlahovic or a Tchouaméni, why not? But forget about Pogba, and I don't believe Donnarumma will come. We had the opportunity to have him for 0. It would be crazy to go and pay him 60 now. No?
Yeah, I think that opportunity is gone. The price at 0 was such a good chance. And that's waiting until his contract is over at PSG. I don't think Juve have the money to splash 60, 70 million for Donnarumma, which is it's a shame because he would have been at Juve for a long time. But yeah.
You made an amazing video for Donnarumma to PSG. A question, curiosity. You can answer yes, no. You can even not answer. You are not obliged. Was that video made for Donnarumma at Juve, or was it already made for Donnarumma PSG?
Yeah, of course. It was for Juve. Yeah. Months ago, but unfortunately, it didn't work out.
So guys, don't forget, Colo99, Dan, he has a channel on YouTube. You are probably all following already, but if you go back and you see the video of Donnarumma, you can watch it with a tear in your eye because that one was made with the intention to be a Juve player. I'm sad. Huh? Who would you go for? Who are we missing today? Okay, I give you my credit card. No. I will give you the credit card of Agnelli because mine you will not be able to buy any player with. I give you the credit card of Agnelli and you can buy 2 players that we are missing in this team today. Who would that be?
I think a striker for sure. Really like, okay, well, if it's Agnelli's credit card, then Haaland, but I would take even Vlahovic too because two amazing strikers.
Mm,
And I mean, definitely a midfield. If I can choose, perhaps Barella from Inter. I
yeah.
know he's an Inter player, but it's impossible to not see his quality and stuff, right?
No,
So those two would elevate the team crazy.
you have we have to be honest. Huh? Barella, he played, I believe, already 6 games, and in or
Hmm
5 games on six, and in every game, or he score or he does an assist. This season, he's on
hmm
fire. Huh? You can't say it's an Inter
Beautiful.
player. He's on fire. He's great. That I was not happy with him on the semifinals and finals, where I think he had a dip
hmm
with Italy. But if you see how we started this season, mamma mia. Just to give you an update on the scores of Serie A, Empoli is winning 1-0 versus Bologna. We have to pay attention to these scores, unfortunately. Normally we don't care, but now it's a bit tricky. With an own goal of Kevin Bonifazzi immediately after 1 minute, and then 0-0 Udinese Fiorentina. Speaking about Vlahovic, he's starting. It's already a few games that he's not scoring. I have him in my Fantacalcio, so if he could score, that would be nice. Sassuolo Salernitana 0-0, so nothing really interesting. There will be Lazio Roma, big game at 6 p.m.
Big game.
You watch um, only Serie A, you watch only Juve, you watch a lot of games from all the leagues to make the edits, or you focus and on one team.
No, I'd say Saturdays normally when all the Premier League games are on. I like to spend a few hours watching those. I think I sort of have to keep up to date on all the teams and all the leagues to sort of say, hey, Neymar 6 goals in the past 4 games. Maybe I make a video on him because if I didn't keep up to date, I would just be making Juve videos, right?
I agree. I agree. That's the chance you have as well to, and I think it's because people sometimes they don't realize how much work it is, because
Mm.
I'm doing 100% Juve. It's taking me 24/7. You have to be up to date with Mercato, with how the players are doing, with stats. Have to make the videos, the edits, and it's going. I'm going crazy because I watch the game and then I watch a second time to really understand how we played. If you're watching a lot of teams, it's a lot. So kudos. And we
Yeah.
have a question from Tariq to you. What are your inspiration to choose teams and music for your football compilation?
Hmm. I think my advantage that I have over sort of some of the other channels on YouTube is that from my job, like personally, I do graphic design as well. So I'm able to sort of add that into the videos, whereas a lot of the YouTube channels they're just video editors. They just make some football videos and that's it. But I'm able to see a lot of modern trends, graphic trends, new designs that are coming out, and to add them into the videos, it sort of creates a new experience for the videos. So maybe I think that's why a lot of people have tended to like them, and then with the adding the music and everything, just creates a nice sort of experience that's different from everybody else.
Um, I want to thank you also personally, because since now a few weeks, Dan worked on actually the new thumbnails of the channel. For sure, I'm
Mm.
continuing to do, because I can't ask Dan every single morning, hey, can you do a new thumbnail? But the frames are there. The frames are there. The idea, the inspiration, the new font of the channel that I really love. They are there, so thank you, because it gives an extra boost. I'm really honored to have had the chance to work on it. Unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of late night lives yet, but I already did 2 or 3. Also, these ones
Yeah.
have been done by Colo. I wanted you, personally and on the channel to say thank you, because it's a real honor for me to have that Colo 99 touch on the channel. Really.
No, it's an honor for me too. Trust me.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm a small channel, Dan. But
Uh,
it's a pleasure, you guys. Just the behind the scenes, I'm a big fan of Colo's work, as all of you are. I saw Dan coming in the late night lives from time to time, probably after his work, tuning in, giving me a comment and so on.
Yeah.
And that's how I contacted Dan, and I said, I would really love to. And again, thank you. Going back to Juve, I made a top four. Where I said Juventus will win before the start of the Serie A. Juventus will win. Second will be Inter. Third, Napoli. Fourth, Roma. This was my top four with surprise Torino. That's what I said. At the moment, they are all in that ranking. The 3 of 4 teams. Torino is a surprise. We missed Juve. Where do you see Juve long term this season? Top 4 or it's over?
I think the Scudetto is sort of out of reach right now. I mean, it's not impossible. We've seen it happen, and I've seen a lot of people mention 2015, 2016, but that was a different team, right? So to ask this team to sort of perform the same way that team did, especially in a completely different league too. So I think under the management of Allegri, even though it's like a rebuilding year, to shoot for maybe third or second wouldn't be such a bad ending, especially with this team and the impact that COVID had on it. I think just to be realistic, the second or third would be an excellent season for Juve, especially with the squad.
So you have a bit lower expectation that we have to, like Alptine was saying, Juve top 4 plus Champions League final. Champions League final for me, guys, this year it's a bit hard. I always believe in mathematics. From the moment the mathematics say, Giuseppe, it's out, you are out of winning the Scudetto. Then I review my things. But for me, I think it's game after game. We have to check game after game after game. And building on the team we have. Unfortunately, the injuries are not helping, because if you miss Arthur, if you miss Caio Jorge, if you miss now Dybala, Morata, it starts to be a lot, huh? And for me, these kind of things, when you are rebuilding, could be dangerous. Thank you, Ala, from AED. Doing a super chat to the channel. Thank you, my friend, to sustain the channel. And then you have another comment, James Azzopardi, Colo 99 the best. But Aiden is saying Allegri with actually a beautiful edit with Ozil with the hair of what was his name?
David Luiz.
Allegri 6-3-1 against Chelsea. Chelsea played really defensively yesterday versus City, but really a defensive game. Lukaku is not playing that much. He's playing that much, but he's not scoring that much with Chelsea. Will it be a boring 0-0 with 2 defense against each other, or do you think we can expect a beautiful game?
I can see Chelsea coming out, especially knowing the situation that Juve are in. I can see them coming out attacking, even, regardless if they're playing in Torino or not. But I think that if Juve escaped this game with a 0-0 or a 1-1 tie, it would be almost considered a win, especially with the injuries and the state that the team is in right now. To tie the champions of Europe with 2 of our biggest players injured, I don't think would be such a bad thing.
We have Martina Beda, who's also known as Juve designer. Martina Beda that helps me a lot with the channel. As soon as I need something, she's helping me. She's great. She's saying ciao Beppe. She knew that you would come, so she said also say hello to Dan, because she's a big fan of your work.
She's very talented, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy to hear that, because Martina, she was actually the one that pushed me as well and motivated me to open a channel. So it's my little sister. I love Martina. Grande Martina. And she's saying in the comments, because I already anticipate the moments, she's saying it will be a big battle. We are playing at home. It's a long time that we didn't play Champions League at home with our supporters. Supporters are already stating that versus Torino, so after the Champions League, So I'm speaking about the ultras. They will start again to sing and to support. So that war of being silent in the stadium will be over. I don't want to enter because I don't know all the whys and the politics and so on. But without Dybala, without Morata playing in our home, I hope they can change their decision and start to sing and support already from Chelsea, because we will need it. We will need it.
Yeah.
We spoke about what you loved in the game, and it was the celebration of Locatelli. We all loved that moment. The goal of Dybala was beautiful as well. I really loved it. What didn't you like too much in today's game?
I would say, especially looking at the 9 Scudetti that were won in a row, I think to see Juve give up such, stupid or late goals is something that we're not really used to, right? So to see them lack concentration, especially towards the end of the game where it's so important, I think that was something, just not something nice to see, especially something that we're not used to. So I think Allegri really needs to focus on the concentration late on in the game. Maybe that's why we saw him yelling before. But I think if we can sort of cut out those late mistakes or those lapses in judgment that they have towards the end of the game, then it would help us win more games, 1-0, 2-0, and it would help us get more points throughout the season.
I agree. It's already 20 games in a row in Serie A that we are not having a clean sheet. We had one versus Malmö, but it's not counting in that stat.
Mm-hmm.
Our most negative record was from 1955, with 21 games in a row without a clean sheet. We are playing versus Torino in their home. Hopefully we can stop it. Otherwise because I love to break records. I love records, but not these ones, not these ones. Some people are asking, ask Colo, when is All or Nothing coming out?
That's a good question.
Did you work on it or not?
I wish, no, but I thought it was going to be out towards the end of the season, but I haven't heard any news, seen any trailers for it. So I don't know when it's coming out.
So that's why I was a bit confused why people were asking you when it's come out. But the official news, guys, were that it was for last year. It has been postponed, probably for some changes in the narrative and so on. But the last official answer from Amazon was before the end of 2021. That's the last official one. It can be in September. It can be in the 31st of December. At the moment, that's the official news. Why? I don't know. But I think that something went wrong. Probably we had not an easy end of the season last year. So pay attention. Vlahovic just scored a penalty. That's good for my Fantacalcio. Are you playing fantasy leagues of Serie A or not, Dan?
This year, no. I played a few years in the past, but my problem was that I would just forget to update my team every week. So I just said forget it.
We did one this year. We are more than I don't remember. I think we are more than 200 people participating. There are monthly prizes, and the big prize at the end of the year will be, or out the season, will be 2 VIP tickets to see Juventus at the stadium with socials. I love it. So that's beautiful, right?
Next year I'll join. I'll join next year
if we have again the same same one. We have Mohammad Youssef, my great friend, brother, who's saying this year competition is high. All teams getting on top again is possible. In Champions League, the team still not experienced enough. Champions League top 4 will be a success. Marco Messina really well. I know him really well. It's my co-host on the Juve channel. He's pushing since so much years with Serie A. A lot of people were fearing this summer about without Lukaku, without Hakimi, Donnarumma, the best talents are going away. Yesterday I saw a bit of Premier League. It was super boring. Yesterday I saw some Serie A games like Atalanta Inter or Inter Atalanta. I'm super happy about the competition that we have. And what's your take on the Serie A this season about the competition? And then we can go to the second part of the message about the Champions League chances for Juve.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the best competition wise in what, maybe the last 10 years. There are so many teams that can, you can see them finishing first, you can see them finishing fourth. You have no idea how the season is going to end. Whereas the last 9, 10 years, you think, okay, probably Juve and then maybe Inter and Milan. Whereas now it could be Napoli, it could be Roma, Lazio could do something. You have no idea. So I think it's good for the league because, we like seeing Juve win every year, but people in Europe, the more Juve won, the more they think, oh, the league is weak, right? So to see new players come in, new competition, I think it's good for everybody.
Chances of, I will say, Juve in Champions League, but also the other three teams. We're speaking about Milan, Inter, and Atalanta. Top four will be a success for Juve. I agree this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will happen, but would be absolutely a big success. Who do you think have a bit more chances to go far in Champions League this season from the Italian teams?
Well, Milan did really well against Liverpool. I was surprised, especially on their return to the Champions League in so many years. But they do have a really tough group. I think they have Atletico and Porto as well.
Yeah.
So if they can get some away points to both those teams and make it to the next round, I think they could do well. And Inter, of course, Lautaro Martinez, Barella, they have such a great team and they made some good signings. So I think they can go far as well. And Juve, you know what? It would be the most Juve thing to do bad in the league, but then do a nice long run in the Champions League. So who knows?
Yeah, Jean-Pierre is saying the same. Juventus can go a lot far. It can be, because you don't have the same pressure. Because this year, you remember when we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, the pressure was 100% on Juve.
Huge.
Now you have to win and blah, blah, blah. We don't have the pressure. You see, Paris Saint-Germain has pressure. City has pressure. Not Juventus. It could be, could be. We'll have to have healthy players. Let me check because they are asking you for your top four. We are going from one to another. I'm sorry for the less structured day. Call. And when you have to leave, tell me if you have other plans or so.
No rush.
Okay. Otherwise, we continue one until more 15, 20 minutes more, and then we end. But if you have to leave, you tell me. Dan.
No worries. We can go. Top four. That's tough. Napoli look really good at the moment. I think they have a 100% record, right? All wins.
Yeah, they are 5-5.
Yeah. So Inter and Napoli, I think, will be there for sure. And I think third and fourth are really going to be tough because Milan look great as well. But sometimes, Milan will win the Winter Scudetto, and then in February, March, they drop off, losing some points. So I would say I think Inter Napoli will be first or second, and then Juve and Milan will battle it out for third and fourth.
Obtin is telling you, and that's a total different question, Colo's favorite edit. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That's tough, actually. I think, I don't know if you've seen them, but towards the end of the season, I do like a This Is Football is awesome, like those type of videos. I think the This Is Football ones are my favorite, just to sort of end out the season, a lot of emotion, a lot of trophies and stuff. So I don't know if I have a particular video, but those ones are my favorite ones to do.
The This Is Football series.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. More than Mercato. And that's a question I have, and I was waiting someone in the chat to ask it. They are not, so I will do it myself. When you are doing, for example, another team player, because you are a Juve fan, and you have to watch hours of videos of the player from another team, maybe sometimes even scoring versus Juve. It's professional, you don't care, you just enjoy the football moment, or it's like, how do you feel?
It's tough because there's a balance, because you have to, as a job, this is your job, but then as a passion, Juve is your passion. So I remember I think I had to make a video for Neymar back in 2015. and I had to put his goal against Juve in the final, and it killed me because once after that game, the final against Barca, I never watched the highlights, nothing, and you don't want to watch it again, right? So to have to watch that video and over again to make edits to it, it was tough, but that's the job, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's why I really wanted to ask you. You know, I will tell you a secret, huh? And then I will also say thank you to Azzurri Juve. Grande Azzurri Juve. I will read your comments in a second. But a secret, I'm a bit superstitious. No, a lot superstitious. And normally I never watch or listen or read the starting lineup of the other team. Never. So when the host on television was saying it, I was doing like that, or I was blinding my eyes. And now I'm on the Juve channel, and I'm forced to, because first of all, I have to study the other players. You know, I make those kind of work with the stats, how they are, and so I have to focus also on the other teams. And I have to read them myself. And every time it hurts my heart because I'm saying, fuck, you know, I'm superstitious. I don't like it. We will lose if I do it. And I'm obliged to. So I understand perfectly how it feels. So that was a little backstage information. I hate it. And probably it's because I started doing that we're starting to lose. It can be.
Yeah.
It's
your fault.
Azzurri Juve, and thank you for the donation, buddy. He's saying, let's be a little bit positive. More positive than me, I think that then you are crazy. Juve has scored 3 goals against Malmö, Spezia, Sampdoria, and last year struggled to score even against bottom table teams. Defensive intensity must improve though, fino alla fine. Great comment. Now, a great comment that is actually really, how can I say, not logic if you watch this man here. And you know that this man, he said publicly a few times, my favorite score is winning 1-0.
Yeah.
We're winning 3-2, 3-2, 3-0 versus Malmö. They conceded a lot of goals already this season. Malmö, with all the respect, it's not Chelsea, it's not Bayern. And Spezia is Spezia. Even if yesterday they played really well versus Milan. It's strange. I agree. Do you think we will continue? That this Juve is more a new Juve? Or do you think that we are paying the consequences of the works of Sarri and Pirlo that were thinking totally different football of Allegri?
Allegri right now, I think he knows the position he's in, so he'll take any win that he can get. But if it were up to him, you know, the defense would have more structure and he would be winning 1-0, 2-0, like how we love doing. But I think right now he's sort of working with the leftovers of the past 2 years, because when your whole idea is just to get Cristiano to score for the past 2 years, you play less as a team, right? And when you get rid of Cristiano, there's a big void that you have to fill. So I think Allegri is getting the team to sort of play more as a unit, and it's going to take a month, 2 months, however long it takes. And there's going to be some ups and downs in the process, but I think that's what he's working towards, having the team play more together.
How long do you think it will take before seeing an Allegri Juve? That doesn't mean winning the Scudetto or whatever, but an Allegri Juve where it's different of what we are seeing today, even if we start to see the light. Huh?
I would say we've seen maybe different patches in different games, maybe 5 or 10 minute spots where we've seen what he was trying to do. I would say that he's going to need at least another 3-4 games until we have a full 90 minutes where the team plays exactly like how he wants. Because it's going to take time.
But they are harassing me. Huh? How did you become a Juve fan?
Well, I would say if I had to count it down to maybe one player or one goal, I remember when I was young, maybe I was about 4 or 5 years old. No, 2002, I was about 7 or 8, and seeing it was Del Piero's goal against Mexico, that header. and that was sort of the first time I was watching football, and I just became a big Del Piero fan after that. My dad's a Juventino as well, so I would see him watch the games every now and then. But after that goal, the Del Piero goal, I was a huge fan. I grew my hair long like him. I bought the Italy jersey, and after that, I was just watching the games every week.
A lot of people, they start supporting clubs thanks to the national Italian team.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Do you think that we already have a lot of Juve fans in the world, but a Locatelli, a Chiesa, Chiellini, Bonucci that did really great, Bernardeschi scoring the beautiful penalties, they can bring even more new Juve fans because we had a 3 year of a mixed fan base with a lot of new people that were curious about Juventus that came also being known as Cristiano Ronaldo fans and the fanboys, how we call them. We're starting a new generation of Juve fan. Do
Yeah.
you think that thanks to the national team, they will start supporting Juve because of the players like a Chiesa? Or you think that the bad results that we are having now will push them towards a Barella, to Inter, or these kind of other teams? Or maybe not even, maybe going to the big teams like Paris Saint-Germain,
Yeah.
City, Chelsea that are from another level in terms of finance.
I would say whenever the national team does well, it benefits Juve, of course. But I think not Allegri, Agnelli knows that maybe within the next 2 or 3 years, Juve is going to need to go for another big star, big name to sort of attract the younger generation, because Italians love Chiesa and Locatelli, but there might not be a large worldwide reach for those players. You know what I mean? Inside Italy for sure, but to bring in a young player, obviously Mbappe, it would be impossible. But to bring in somebody of that age and that level to attract new fans from Asia, from South America, everywhere, I think Agnelli knows that they're gonna have to make a big purchase soon once a new star comes.
I have a few questions, more for you than
Mm,
over the game. The game again,
okay.
I repeat, I will make an individual video later as well about the game. But how do are you a collector of Juve, Chelsea, or even football jerseys?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
For Juve jerseys, I would say I'm not the one to buy every year
mhm.
all three jerseys, but I like to sort of, if I see one that sort of catches my eye, even if it's 4 or 5 years ago, I'll buy it. I think the most recent one I bought was the human race one, the pink one that they released last year,
Yeah,
because the original pink one from 2015 is one of my favorites. So yeah, I bought that one. But yeah, of course, any or the black one this year, very
beautiful.
nice. I'm a sucker for black jerseys,
Mm,
so
I
anytime
love
they
them.
release a black jersey, I buy it.
I agree. Players on the back, or you prefer empty?
Most of the time it's empty, but I would say the only two players that I've bought recently were Dybala and Cristiano.
Mm.
But maybe a Chiesa one will need to be purchased.
Yeah, I don't. I will go probably. You never know in what happened in the world, but normally I go for Juve Roma. Will be
Mm,
there a few days in advance, and I stay one day more. I will have to put and decide the players on my back, so I will go for. Tell me if it's the right choice. Huh? The home one, so this one I will go for Chiesa. The black one I go for Locatelli, and the third I need to buy it yet, still, but I will go for Moiskin. Even if now
mm.
I'm hesitant about my third name. Is it a good choice or not?
Yeah, I would do the same. Maybe even Delict on the third one, but Keane or Delict would be a good choice, I think.
The third one you saw, the third one, I don't know if you're a fan of the third or not, but I see you laughing. But on the third shirt, I think it's that crazy that you have to go with a crazy player. For me, the
Yeah,
licht on the shirt, the third would not match. You know what I mean?
yeah, because Keane has that style, that urban
Yeah,
flair that is the theme of the jersey. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
makes sense.
that's why I took, for example, the 44 number last year from Kulusevski on the orange one because
Mm, right.
uh, uh,
Crazy number, crazy jersey. Yeah.
yeah, So that's a bit my way of working with shirts. Easy one. Favorite all time player?
Marquisio.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, by the way, congratulations because a few time ago you were able to do his farewell video, right?
Mhm. Yeah. It was
How,
big. Yeah. Big moment.
how do you react? Because they contacted you to do it.
Yeah. His marketing team contacted me to do it, which was tough because I basically knew he was going to leave before everybody else. I knew maybe 3 or 4 days.
Mm.
So I see people on Twitter, with their, oh, this Juve should line up like this for this season, and they had Marquisio in the starting lineup, and yeah, it was tough because I couldn't tell anybody that it was going to happen. Obviously, Marquisio and his team knew a few days before, so it was bittersweet because you don't want to see him leave, but then again, it was also a big opportunity, a big piece of work for me to do. So
I
50
folded.
50.
I was looking for the Marquise shirt because I had it here a few days ago, but
Mm.
I put it back. Marquise, top player. You already went to the Juve Stadium?
Yeah, I went, I would say 3 or 4 times. I think the first game I went was when Marquisio had that big injury, when he tore his ACL. So right in front of me, he got injured. So it was a bit bad luck. But yeah, I went um, 2015, 2016, 2017. Been a few years, but hopefully I can go back this season to watch a game. Hmm.
It's beautiful. Unfortunately, we were not able to last year, and that's one of the things that makes me sad is we had Cristiano Ronaldo for 3 years,
Yeah,
1.5 year without supporters in the stadium. Yeah, these kind of things makes me really really sad.
yeah,
Um, Hey guys, all the people are telling me fan of Colo, fall of Colo, I love Colo, great work, blah blah blah, and then you check the likes. We have 193 likes. You guys, today you're not funny. Huh? You're really not funny. I don't like that. For me, if we don't reach at least 200 likes, it's a disgrace, guys. That means that you are
at
really
least.
at least it's an afternoon game, so it makes sense that we don't have that much. We already reached them, guys. Why do I have to ask you to put a maximum of like? It's like you're asking to have your. I'm not asking your girlfriend. I'm asking you to put a like. It's
Yeah.
the only thing
Oh,
I
yeah.
ask. Ciao Nishit. So ask. Yeah, that's another question. Ask about his Juve tattoo. Do you have a Juve tattoo?
Yeah, I have. Oh wait, this one. Just 3 stars here. Yeah, that was my first tattoo. My parents weren't happy, but they're used to it now. But it's like hopefully I can add another one in a few years. But
With a fourth
yeah,
star.
yeah,
Uh, that's about the tattoos. Yeah, I made this one. And speaking
I
about the
saw.
logo,
Really
because
nice.
you are a graphic designer. You know a bit about this. I know that sometimes you're not happy about how Juve is working on graphic design at
Mm,
certain moments, but that change of logo that was really something live ahead in 2016. How
yeah,
do your first reaction as a Juve lover, and then your second reaction? Because I know that everyone has like two steps. First, the
yeah.
surprise, and then the second. How did you react? What were your feeling about the logo? And in the chat as well. And tell me, guys, after so many years now, are you used to it? Do you love it? Do you still hate it? I want to know the chat, but especially as well for Dan.
Yeah. I was definitely shocked when I saw it coming, especially because Juve was so forward thinking with it. It was a big change because our badge was so iconic. Everybody was used to it. So at first, when they announced it, I wasn't too in love with it. But then as the days went on, you saw the full design with all the social posts, all the videos and stuff. You start to understand what they were aiming for. So to me, it made sense, especially being in this industry, being a graphic designer, it made sense. I know a lot of maybe people of the older generation were against it because the badge is so iconic, but you see a lot of teams now following Juve's footsteps. So obviously, it's a good idea if other big teams are starting to do the same.
I see a lot of people thinking this more as I love it now. I
Yeah,
was shocked when it happened. Um, New logo is cool. I like the old badge more. It's true that if you are going to, because I'm also a man of, I love the tradition of Juve. We have an historical club. I love the old badges more, but then if you look at the history of Juve, we change a lot of times, you know.
Yeah.
And these kind of big bold statements, they are shocking. I
Hmm.
loved it since day one without forgetting the other ones. Probably if you give me aesthetically, I prefer the old ones, the vintage ones. I'm a big fan of collecting also vintage shirts. It's part of the history, but I understood perfectly what we were trying and aiming to do. And when I see these kind of bold steps, okay, we had the pandemic in the middle, but I know that Juventus is trying to go even beyond.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thinking globally and so on, and that gives me actually a beautiful, nice feeling of Juve. We are a
Hmm.
brand now. It's true. We are a brand.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think it's better if your team sort of make or takes these risks and sort of tries to progress rather than being stuck in the past, right?
Mm. Is it
Yeah.
easier for you to work with the new logo than with the old? Because
Yeah.
I have sometimes difficulties when I'm trying to do some thumbnails to put the new logo that is actually really easy to put with another one, of
Yeah.
Sampdoria, Milan, because it's strange. So I love the new logo, but it's strange to make it, next to an old one. That's always difficult for me.
Yeah. It stands out, but I guess that's probably what they were aiming for, right?
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a last question for you. Guys,
Of
I
course.
will try to do soon, but Dan is also working. I am working. We are on two different time zones. I want to do a nice video with Dan and with another guest together. We will try to plan that. But what are your if you can spoil, huh? Do you have already some future ideas of? Can you spoil a bit of your next coming projects?
Yeah. I definitely have a Chiesa and a Delict one coming up. Have it's this is the worst part of the year because there are not really much highlights. 5 or 6 games. It's not really enough to grab enough footage for the videos and stuff. So you're just trying to collect footage as it comes. Every game you get more and more. But I would say definitely Chiesa and Delict will get a nice video coming up. And you never know. Morata could score 3 goals next game, and I can make one for him. So it just depends on how Juve plays.
Hmm. Did you ever thought to do some edits out of football?
Well, actually, my biggest channel or my biggest video is the Kobe Bryant one
Yeah.
after he passed away, and I got a lot of comments asking people to asking for me, sorry, to make some basketball videos. So in the future, maybe, yeah,
Mm.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Mm. Do you need to know the sport really well to transmit the emotions, or you can do edits about golf, for example? Maybe
I,
you're a golf fan. Huh?
I think you need some sort of background, or at least an idea of some of the big games, some of the big moments that happen. Because if you go in blind and you make a player for a sport that you don't know about, you might miss their biggest moment or their biggest play, and you wouldn't really be doing justice to the player. So I think you have to have some background. Kobe was easy because everybody knows Kobe,
Mm.
everybody knows his big moments, but to make videos of other players and other sports, I think I would have to spend a few hours watching some of their games.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have some words of encouragement, of support for people that start with
Mhm.
editing? Because we see a lot of people they have their specialty, as some goes with jerseys prototypes, some really videos, like James is saying, Beppe, show my logo to Colo and tell him what he thinks about my logo. He likes it, he approve, James. um, do you have some tips for young starters?
Yeah, I would say sometimes I get messages like this on my Instagram as well, and they ask me for tips and stuff. Basically, you have to think of designing or editing like just another part of your day. It's just something that you have to do. Like going to work, going to school, going to the gym, editing. It has to be a part of your day. You have to think of it as something that you need to keep doing to get better, to gain fans. Because if you do one piece of work every month, you're not going to grow that much. I think as well. You put out one video a month, your channel isn't going to grow. You have such a nice and loyal fan base because you upload, frequently.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key. You obviously have to be passionate about it at first. That's the most important thing. But to develop your skills, you have to produce stuff regularly. You have to improve. You have to just make it a regular part of your everyday life.
I agree. Consistency
Yeah.
is so important, especially when it's hard. And because, guys, don't forget, we are going towards a generation where, and I repeat it a lot of time, but it's true, where you post something on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and you receive immediate likes. Immediate. You whatever you post, boom, you have a reaction. But it's not always like life is not always like that. You have to work hard, and especially when it's hard and it's not working, consistent. Go. So thank you for the tips. When you worked on my thumbnails, and that's probably the last one that I will ask. When you worked on my thumbnails, what were the words that were inspiring you to, or the ideas that inspire you to make something for my channel?
Yeah. Well, I definitely wanted to keep it based, obviously, around the whole Juve theme and the colors and stuff. But because I would say your style is so engaging and it's so fun to create like a brand where using bright colors, using big fonts, using bold themes, like it perfectly represents you because you're funny, sometimes you're loud, so it fits a theme. If I was going to do something boring with like a little handwriting font, I don't think it would match your theme and your vibe. So to create something bold and out there and colorful, I think it's perfect for you. That thing, perfect.
Thank you for 1 hour and 10 minutes together with me. To be honest, guys, it's the first I talk with messages and audio messages to Dan. It's the really first time we have a one-to-one really chat. I discovered a lot of things. I was thinking really great things about you, thanks to your work, thanks to your flexibility. You're being humble, because that's an important thing, being humble today. Not everyone is humble. Today that I spent 1 hour with you, I'm nearly in love, Dan, because absolutely your passion about Juve, your knowledge about Juve, you're not being hysteric, because today, let's be honest, 3-2, we won, we are happy. It was not perfect. So I love this kind of qualities. It was an honor to have you on. I hope you had a fun time and you can be again a guest in one of or a dedicated video or recorded or live or a post game, whatever.
Becca, anytime you want to have me back on, I'm free. So you just let me know.
Thank you, Colo. People are asking, are you Italian?
Well, I live in Canada, yeah, but both my parents are Italian, yeah.
Thank you to all the people in the chat. It was amazing to speak about Juve with a win and in a chill way, and knowing more about Dan. I didn't even tell him it would be an interview. Today was actually only speaking about Juve. Hey, you want to know about Dan? We ask Dan, because you are the one that decides. Thank you to everyone. Ciao. And as always, Forza Juve. Ciao.